Hey everyone, Jeff Blank here for Tee to Green, and welcome back to another edition of Forecapping, where I'll be breaking down the best bets for the Arnold Palmer Invitational taking place at Bay Hill Club and Lodge. This course is a par 72 playing at about 7,500 yards for the pros this week, where scoring averages are consistently over par and winning scores rarely break single digits. So we're going to get more into this week's tournament, but I want to first mention we are brought to you by Batavia Downs, and Batavia Downs is bringing back their popular Rockin' the Downs concert series in 2026, which starts this summer, but there's plenty of entertainment taking place at the end of the winter here and into the spring. We'll get into that a little bit here. If you head to BataviaConcerts.com, you can get a view of all the events taking place in the near future, starting with Thursday, March 12th, 7 p.m. at Park Place Event Center, Band on the Run, tribute to the music of Sir Paul McCartney. Followed by on Saturday, March 21st, 7:30 p.m., also at Park Place Event Center, the Rolling Stones Experience featuring the Blushing Bride. So again, head over to BataviaConcerts.com. Get your tickets today. All right, we're going to dive right back into the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill Club and Lodge. We're going to get into my outright picks. I got 5 of them this week. Got a long shot. We got 2 outsiders and 2 contenders. So why don't we jump right into it. Long shot of the week. We got Ryan Fox at 140 to 1. We're going to dive deeper into my model this week that I create on betspurtsgolf.com. So we'll share that here. All right, and we're going to jump right into Ryan Fox. But before we do, I want to hit some of the metrics that I'm looking at this week. So starting with strokes gained total over the last 2 months, this is meant to show who's kind of hot right now over the last 60 days. I got strokes gained total kind of throughout everybody in the field, their history, course history at Bay Hill Club and Lodge. We got strokes gained total in Florida over the last 5 years. So Florida is a very regional, obviously regional kind of swing. We got the West Coast swing. We go to Florida. There's some Texas events. And then there's players that just perform well at these different regions. So we tend to also look at regional southeast of the United States, specifically Florida here over the last 5 years. Strokes gained total on difficult courses. So I mentioned the scoring average over par consistently at Bay Hill. This kind of ranks in the top 5 of most difficult courses that the PGA Tour players will play on each year. We got strokes gained total on Bermuda grasses over the last 5 years. Again, Bermuda, very common in the southeast of the United States. Very tricky grass it can be. Strokes gained total in strong fields over the last 5 years. So this is an elevated event. 72 players, top players in the world. We got world number 1, Scotty Scheffler, world number 2, Rory McIlroy in the field. So players that perform when they're facing that strong competition. And then lastly, strokes gained total over the last 12 months. So we kind of dove into strokes gained total over the last 2 months to get who's really hot right now. And then over the last 12 months, who's consistently performed over a 12-month period. So when you look at Ryan Fox, nothing really jumps out of the page, we'll say. Just kind of consistency across the board. You don't really see any red here. He's 13th out of 72 players in the field this week at strokes gained total at Bay Hill all time. So he does tend to bring some of his best golf to Bay Hill Club and Lodge. All right, then next we got outsiders. I got Victor Hovland at 40 to 1 and Corey Connors at 78 to 1. So we're going to find those 2 individuals on the model here. There they are. And we'll bring them up here separately. So interesting dynamic with both Corey Connors and Victor Hovland. Neither are, coming out of the gates too hot in 2026, 63rd and 51st in strokes gained total the last 2 months, but it is early in the season. And, their performance on all the other metrics pretty solid. You got Corey Connors 4th in the field, strokes gained total at Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Victor Hovland 18th. Strokes gained total in Florida. So again, players that bring their best game to the southeast of the United States over the last 5 years. You got Corey Connors 3rd, Victor Hovland 7th, and down the line here. So I think despite them kind of coming out of the gates slow and really probably haven't played a lot of events either to start the year, feel pretty good about their overall outlook, I guess we'll say, at Bay Hill heading into this Florida swing here. And lastly, we got 2 contenders, Russell Henley at 33 to 1 and Rory McIlroy at 10 to 1. Again, we'll find those 2 individuals on the model here, Rory and Russell. Rory across the board, obviously second in the world rankings here. not too many holes to his game. What really stands out to me is second in the field in strokes gained total at Bay Hill. So he's got the course history aspect as well, including all the other metrics that he's very good at. He's also tied for first, ironically, with Russell Henley, strokes gained total on Bermuda grasses over the last 5 years as well. So Florida seems to be a nice place, not only for Rory, but for Russell as well. So Russell Henley grew up in Georgia, went to Georgia in college, has played many, many events on Bermuda grasses. So he's very familiar with this type of turf, which also correlates to him being ninth in strokes gained total at Bay Hill. So like those two individuals performing well in the Florida swing and specifically at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So that will really conclude the forecapping for this week. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jeff Blank T2G. You can also follow our entire team at T2G Buffalo on Twitter and Instagram. We also got our first radio show of the year coming up this Saturday. We'll be at Golf Dojo. You can find us on WGR, also streaming on the same platforms here from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. So looking forward to starting off the radio and streaming season. And as always, appreciate watching this video. Wishing you good luck betting this week.